Hello and greetings to everyone. We are to answer the following questions. The instruction says attempt all questions. For question 1, given that y is equal to 2 plus x minus x squared. Question A, construct a table of values of y for which negative 2 is less than or equal to x less than or equal to 3. That means x takes values from negative 2 to 3. Okay, when constructing the table, we are going to make use of whole number values for x. Let's answer the question. Take solution. Question 1. We have been given that y is equal to 2 plus x minus x squared. This is a quadratic function. It's a quadratic function because the highest power of x is 2. Y is in terms of x. Now question A says we should construct a table of values of y for negative 2 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 3. Let's construct the table of values. We know y is the same. Y is equal to 2 plus x minus x squared. So we need a table of values. The first row will carry values for x, like this. The second row will carry values for x squared, like this. We'll partition them. The next row will carry values for negative x squared. For us to get negative x squared, we need x squared. The next row will carry 2 plus x. 2 is a constant. The next row will carry y, which is equal to 2 plus x minus x squared. That means we are going to add negative x squared to this result. We have been told that x takes values from negative 2 to 3 inclusively, but we are going to make use all of the whole number values. So that means we cannot take x to be 1.5, 2.5. We are going to start from negative 2. Next, we are going to take one unit. To negative 2, we go to negative 1. We are adding 1. Negative 1, we go to 0. 0, we go to 1. 1, we go to 2. And from 2, we end at 3. Now we can construct the table. Next, we need x squared. Negative 2 squared. Negative 2 all this squared is equal to negative 2 times negative 2, which is equal to, we are multiplying two negative numbers. So the resulting sum will be positive. 2 times 2 gives 4. This will give us 4. Negative x squared. We are going to attach a negative sign to this result. It gives us negative 4, like this. The next, if you take 2 plus x, that means we are going to take 2 plus the value of x we have here. 2 plus negative 2, like this. 2 plus negative 2, which is the same as 2 minus 2, which is equal to 0. So this will give us 0. We go now to the next. We take 2 plus x. This result 0. Then we attach negative x squared. The result, we add the result for negative x squared. So 0 plus negative 4 will give us negative 4. We go now to the next. Negative 1 squared. Negative 1 times negative 1 gives us 1. negative x squared. We are going to attach a negative sign to the result here. This was negative 1. The next 2 plus negative 1 is the same as 2 minus 1, which is 1. The next, we are going to take this result, then we add plus this other result. So 1 plus negative 1 gives us 0. We go to the next. 0 squared remains 0. Negative 0 is 0. Remember 0 is a neutral number. 0 is neither positive nor negative. The next, we take 2 plus 0 gives 2. The next, 2 plus 0, which is 2, plus 0 gives us 2. We go now to 1. 1 squared is 1. Negative x squared gives us negative 1. 2 plus 1 gives us 3. The next, 3 plus negative 1 gives us 2. 3 plus negative 1 is the same as 3 minus 1, which is 2. We go to 2. 2 squared is 4. Negative x squared will give us negative 4. Now we need 2 plus x. 2 plus 2 gives us 4. Now we need 2 plus x minus x squared. This is the same as adding 4 plus negative 4. 4 plus negative 4 gives us 0. So here we have 0. We go now to the next. We have 3 squared gives us 9. Negative x squared gives us negative 9. 2 plus 3 gives us 5. Next we have to add 5 plus negative 9. It gives us negative 4. This is it. 5 plus negative 9 is the same as 5 minus 9, which is negative 4. That's why we have negative 4 here. So this is the table of values. The next thing we have to do now is to plot the graph of y equal to 2 plus x minus x squared. That's question B. It says taking 2 centimeters for 1 unit on both axes, that means the x and y axis, draw the graph of y equal to f of x. Let's draw the graph. This is for question B. It says by taking 2 centimeters for 1 unit on both axes, draw the graph of y equal to f of x. First, let's look at the values of x and y. The minimum value of x is negative 2. The maximum is 3. The minimum value of y is negative 4. And the maximum value of y is 2. We make use of this end of our ruler, which is graduated in centimeters. Place our ruler at the center of the graph paper. Draw our vertical axis, which is the y axis. Call this vertical line the y axis. This is our y axis. Next, we need to draw the horizontal axis, that is the x axis. This other axis is the x axis. Now the next thing, we need to graduate the axis, and in the problem they're asking us to make use of 2 centimeters to represent 1 unit on both axes. Let's carry out a measurement. You'll see something. If we start, remember where the 2 axes meet, we call this the origin. At this point, x is 0, y is 0. So if you start measuring from 0, you'll see something very important. You'll see that one of these big squares has a dimension of 1 centimeter. You can see where we have 2 centimeters. It falls exactly on 2 of these big squares. So that means we are going to count 2 of these big squares to represent 1 unit on the x and y axis. That's what it means. So we are going to graduate our graph. We count 2 squares for 1 unit. So we count 1. This is 1, 2. It represents 1. 1, 2 represents 2. 1, 2 represents 3. 1, 2 represents 4. We can end here at 4. We graduate the negative x-axis. We count 1, 2, negative 1. 1, 2, negative 2. 1, 2, negative 3. 1, 2, negative 4. We have negative 4 here. Next, we have to graduate the y-axis. We are going to follow the same procedure. Let's graduate the positive y-axis. We count 2 bigger squares for 1 unit. 1, 2. We have 1. 1, 2. We have 2. 1, 2. We have 3. 1, 2. We have 4. Now let's graduate the negative y-axis. From 0, we count going down. 1, 2. We have negative 1. 1, 2. We have negative 2. 1, 2, we have negative 3. 1, 2, we have negative 4. 1, 2, we have negative 5. This is negative 5. Let's end here at 5. 1, 2, 5 is here. Now the next thing that we are left to do is to plot the points. That means we take the value of x, we take the corresponding value of y, we trace where they meet following these lines on the graph paper. We make an x or a dot. For the first one, when x is negative 2, y is negative 4. Negative 2 goes to negative 4, x negative 2, y negative 4. These are the values. We trace them down. It's as if someone is moving from negative 2 downward straight. Another person is moving from negative 4 to the left straight. You'll see that they will meet here, meet at this point. Where they meet, we put a star as such. So that's the first point which has been plotted. This is it. Now we go to the next one. We have a negative 1. X is negative 1. Y is 0. X is negative 1. This is negative 1 for x. Y is 0. This is 0. So 0 and negative 1, they meet here. They meet on the x-axis here. So we put a star on negative 1. For the next value, x is 0, y is 2. X is 0, y is 2. So we will meet on the y-axis. Put a star here. Such. We go now to the next one. When x is 1, y is 2. 1 goes with 2. X is 1. This is it. Y is 2. They meet here. We put a star like this. Next, when x is 2, y is 0. X is 2, y is 0. They meet on the x-axis. This star, this. We go to the next. When x is 3, y is negative 4. X is 3, y is negative 4. See, this is negative 4 and 3. They meet down here. So we put a star here. So these are the points which have been plotted. Let's count. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 plotted points. Let's count the number of points from the table. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it is okay. Now the next step, what we have to do is we have to connect these plotted points with a smooth curve. Now let's connect the points. When connecting the points, we connect them without lifting up our hands. Once we start connecting, let's connect to have a smooth curve. It goes as such, like this. It goes up, up, up. The lift of your hands up. You see that at this point, you cannot just go directly like this. You must go up, then you come down. It goes up. Let me arrange my graph. You see, it goes up, then comes down as such. You see, it goes, it falls back, it falls, falls, falls. So you will have something as such. You see, though mine is not really that smooth, but this is how the curve looks like. Then we are going to level it that this is the curve of y equal to 2 plus x minus x squared. The reason why we cannot connect these points as such is because graphs of quadratic functions are parabolas. That means they have the shape of a U. They have this form. It is either a mountain or a valley parabola. They are like this. So if we connect those points, we connect these 2 points as such, we're going to have something like this, which is not a parabola. That's why we had to go up, then come down. In this case, since it is of the mountain form, we are going to say this quadratic function has a maximum value. You see, this is the peak of the mountain. The highest point is up here. So we are going to put a dot. You see, we can extract the values. But in this case, we are going to obtain an estimated value, not the exact value. By making use of our graph, this is for the x value, the x coordinate at that point. So this is for the y coordinate. We put an arrow here. This is for the x coordinate. Okay, now you can see on our graph, if 2 of these bigger squares represent 1 unit, then 1 of these bigger squares will represent a half. So at this point, x is a half. Here, y is simply 2 plus a half, which is 2 and a half. Now let's go to the next part of the question. The remaining questions, it says, using your graph, solve the equation x squared minus x minus 2 equal to 0. We have to solve this problem by making use of our graph. Question C, we have to solve x squared minus x minus 2 equal to 0 by using our graph. First, we have been given the function y equal to 2 plus x minus x squared. Now, if you take a case when y is equal to 0, then that means when y is 0, we are going to replace y with 0. 0 will be equal to 2 plus x minus x squared. Then it is the same. If we transfer the terms to the left, negative x squared becomes positive x squared. X becomes negative x. 2 becomes negative 2 is equal to, here the right hand side will be left with nothing, which is 0. For us to get the solution of this quadratic equation using our graph, it therefore means we are going to read the values of x when y is equal to 0. You can see here y is 0, and this is the same as this when you multiply both sides by negative 1. So when you factor out negative 1, then you multiply both sides by negative 1. So they are the same. So we move to our graph. We read the values of x when y is equal to 0. That's all what we're going to do. When y is 0, y is 0. That means at the points where it cuts the x-axis, you can see here, if you read the y value, it is 0. You read the y value, it is 0. So the values will simply be x equal to -1, x equal to 2, y equal to 0, from our graph, x is equal to -1 or x is equal to 2. X equal to -1 or x equal to 2 are the solutions of this quadratic equation. We can verify. Let's replace x with -1. If you take x squared minus x minus 2, this will be equal to -1 squared. We are replacing x with -1. We just want to verify minus -1 minus 2. This will be equal to -1 squared gives us +1. Negative, applying the sign rule gives positive. 1 plus 1 minus 2. This is simply equal to 1 plus 1 gives 2 minus 2, which is 0. If you replace x with 2, this one is for when x is equal to 1, -1. Go to the next when x is equal to 2. This will give us x squared minus x minus 2 to be equal to 2 squared minus 2 minus 2. This will simply be equal to 2 squared 2 times 2 is 4 minus 2 minus 2, which is equal to 4 minus 2 gives us 2. 2 minus 2 is equal to 0. X equal to -1 or x equal to 2 are the solutions of the quadratic equation x squared minus x minus 2 equal to 0 when we make use of our graph. Now we go to the next question, which is question D. Question D is asking us find the maximum value of y equal to f of x. Now let's get the maximum value. That means the highest value y can take. From our graph, you will see this is the peak of our mountain. The maximum value y can take is this value. So we are just going to obtain an estimate of it. And this will simply be equal to 2 plus a half, which is 2 and a half. So you write it down for question D. The maximum value of y equal to f of x. F of x is a function. That means a function of x, which is, let's write it by the side so that people don't get confused, which is 2 plus x minus x squared. You can see this is a function of x is y equal to, from our graph, it is y equal to 2 and a half. So this is the maximum value the function takes for y, which is an estimated value. We go now to the next part of the question. Question E says by drawing a suitable straight line, solve the equation x squared minus 1 is equal to 0. That's for question E. We have y equal to 2 plus x minus x squared. Now if we take the quadratic equation x squared minus x minus 2 equal to 0, you can write this as x squared minus x. You can write -2 as -1 minus 1 equal to 0. Next, you can express this as x squared. We leave -1 here, x squared minus 1 equal to, we are going to transfer negative x to the right hand side, which becomes positive, gives us x. Then we transfer this other -1 to the right hand side, which becomes positive plus 1. So this is the same as x plus 1. X squared minus 1 is equal to x plus 1. That's what it means. So now they're asking us to draw a suitable straight line to solve the equation x squared minus 1 is equal to 0. Now, x plus 1 is the equation of a line. We have, let's just call this y equal to x plus 1. Now, the next thing, we are going to build a table of values for x and y, making use of this given range of values of x. Let's build a table of values for y and x. The first row, we have x. The second row, we have values of y, which is equal to x plus 1. That's it. We have to make use of the range from -2, take -1, 0, 1, 2, 3. We need to get the values of y. -2 plus 1 gives us -1. The next, -1 plus 1 gives 0. 0 plus 1 gives 1. 1 plus 1 gives 2. 2 plus 1 gives 3. 3 plus 1 gives 4. So this is the table of values of x and y. The next thing, we need to draw this our straight line on the graph of y equal to 2 plus x minus x squared. When x is -2, y is -1. We plot -2, -1. X is -2, y is -1. We meet here, we plot. We go to the next. X is -1, y is 0. -1, 0. This here. We go to the next. X is 0, y is 1. 0, 1. We plot here. We go to the next. X is 1, y is 2. 1, 2. We meet here, which has already been plotted. We go to the next. X is 2, y is 3. 2, 3. We plot. This is where they meet. We go to the next. X is 3, y is 4. 3, 4. Plot. Meet here. Now we are going to use our ruler to connect the points to get a straight line. Place our ruler like this. Then we draw a straight line passing through all these plotted points. Yes. So this is what we're going to have, the straight line. Here we call this the line y equal to x plus 1. If you take this line y equal to x plus 1, we compare it with the general equation of a straight line, which is y equal to mx plus c. You'll see that the gradient of this line, m is similar to the equation of x, which is 1. So this line has a gradient of 1. Now, for us to solve the given problem, that problem is asking us to, it says, by drawing a suitable straight line, solve the equation x squared minus 1 is equal to 0. For us to answer this problem, we are going to take the values of x. We are going to read the values of x at the point where the line y equal to x plus 1 intersects or meets the curve y equal to 2 plus x minus x squared. The points where they meet, we read out the x values. You see that they meet here, and at this point the x value is -1, and the mid here at this point the x value is 1. Then we conclude by drawing the line y equal to x plus 1, comma, the equation x squared minus 1 equal to 0 has solutions x equal to -1 or x equal to 1. You can say it. Question F is asking us to estimate to 1 decimal place the gradient of the curve at the point 1, 2. We have been given a point as such, 1, 2. In the Cartesian system, given points, we start by giving out the x coordinate followed by the y coordinate. It therefore means that at that point, x is equal to 1. If you compare, y is equal to 2. That's what it means. So we are going to move to our graph. We read the point, we locate the point where x is 1 and y is 2. x1, this is 1. y2, you see the mid here, 1, 2. They're asking us to estimate to 1 decimal place the gradient of the curve, this curve, at this point. So at this point, what we are going to do is, we are going to draw a tangent to the curve at that point. And after drawing the tangent, we can calculate the gradient. We know a tangent is a line that touches a curve at exactly 1 point. Let's draw a tangent to our curve at this point. When drawing tangent, you draw it in such a way you can easily read out the x and y coordinates. Take this and this, draw. So this is the point, and we have to calculate the gradient of the curve at this point. This is our tangent to that point. We are going to read out the x and y coordinates of this point and the x and y coordinates of this other point. Here at this point, x is 4, y is -3.5. You can see this is -3, this is -3.5, then -4. Up here we need to read the x value. The x value is a half, which is 0.5, and the y value is 3. We can easily calculate the gradient. We know gradient is given by change in y all over change in x. Gradient is equal to change in y all over change in x. Now for us to get the first point, we start taking the points from the left to the right. So this is our x1, y1, x2, y2. If you take the first point, x1, y1 is equal to 0.5, 3, and x2, y2 is equal to, we have 4, -3.5. Now we can calculate the gradient. The gradient will simply be equal to the change in y, y2 minus y1 over the change in x2 minus x1. And this will simply be equal to y2 is negative 3.5 minus y1 is 3. Then we divide by x2, which is 4, minus x1, which is 0.5. This will simply be equal to negative 3.5 minus 3 gives us negative 6.5. We have to divide by 4 minus 0.5 gives us 3.5. And this will simply be equal to, gives us negative 1.91 decimal place. Apply the methods of approximation. So this is a gradient of the curve at the point 1, 2. And we are done with question 1. If in case you have any worries, you leave your questions at the comment section. Please, you like the video, share and subscribe to this YouTube channel. In our next video, we are going to answer question 2. Thank you very much for watching.